We're going to take a peek into the future.
And
let's just say
yeah,
things are about to get really interesting.
buckle up.
You've given us a mountain of articles
A whole stack.
about how AI is going to transform jobs.
Yeah.
Over 35 of them by 2030.
We're talking big changes.
We're talking big change.
From truck drivers becoming robot wranglers to financial analysts morphing into like market predicting gurus.
That's a good one.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What's fascinating here is that this isn't some sci-fi movie. This is happening now.
Right.
Goldman Sachs predicts AI could replace a staggering 300 million full-time jobs.
Whoa.
Globally.
Okay, hold on. That's like everyone in the United States suddenly needing a new gig.
That's a huge GE number.
Yeah.
So it's not just about robots on factory floors anymore, right? This is AI creeping into
almost every corner of the workforce.
What we're seeing is that AI is becoming incredibly good at those routine tasks that we used to think only humans could do.
Oh, yeah.
Things like data entry, scheduling, even basic legal document review.
Oh, wow.
AI is starting to outperform us.
So where do we even begin unpacking this?
Right.
Let's start with jobs that a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah.
The ones that are maybe already feeling the AI heat.
Sure. Let's look at data entry clerks.
Okay.
This is a job that's highly susceptible to automation because it involves a lot of repetition and clear rules.
Right.
Things like optical character recognition or OCR.
OCR.
Allow computers to read documents and extract information, and then software can take it from there.
OCR, so is that like when your phone can scan a document?
Exactly.
And into text?
Exactly. But on a much larger scale, combine that with natural language processing, which helps computers understand the meaning of that text.
And robotic process automation.
A PA.
Which automates entire workflows.
Got it.
And you can see how quickly a human data entry clerk becomes, well,
oh boy,
unnecessary.
Wow. I'm already starting to sweat thinking about all the paperwork on my desk.
I know, it's a little scary.
So how many data entry jobs are we talking about here?
Some reports predict over 7.5 million data entry jobs.
Wow.
Could vanish by 2027.
That's a lot of jobs.
And it's not just data entry.
Right.
Think about customer service.
Okay.
We've all interacted with those chat bots that pop up on websites, right?
Oh, yeah?
They're powered by AI that's getting smarter by the day.
Okay, so the bots are handling the easy stuff.
Right.
But surely they can't replace a human when you've got a really complex problem, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not about complete replacement in many cases.
Yeah.
It's about a shift.
I see.
Those chatbots handle the basic questions, freeing up the human reps to deal with the tricky stuff.
Yeah.
That requires empathy and creative problem solving.
Yeah.
So customer service is less about knowing the answer to every question.
Right.
And more about knowing how to handle those curveballs that AI can't quite grasp yet.
Precisely. By 2024, some experts predict AI will be involved in 100% of customer interactions.
Really?
In some form.
Wow.
But instead of fearing the robots, think of it this way.
Okay.
You're no longer stuck answering the same questions all day.
Yeah.
You're becoming a problem-solving ninja using your human skills to tackle the truly tough stuff.
I like that problem-solving ninja.
Right.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
Good.
But what about jobs that deal with numbers?
Sure.
I'm thinking bookkeepers and bank tellers. Those seem pretty AI-proof, right?
Well, think about what a bookkeeper does. A lot of it is data entry.
Right.
Categorizing transactions, reconciling accounts.
Yeah.
AI accounting software can now do most of that.
Really?
And much faster and more accurately than a human.
So if I'm a bookkeeper, should I be frantically learning how to code right now?
Not necessarily, but it does highlight a big shift that's happening.
Okay.
Moving away from purely task-based work and more towards oversight and strategy.
Okay.
That's where the human element becomes even more important.
I see.
Imagine you're overseeing the AI, making sure it's doing its job properly, and then using those insights to make financial decisions.
So it's less about crunching the numbers yourself.
Right.
And more about understanding what those numbers mean for the bigger picture.
Exactly. And you see a similar shift with bank tellers, with the rise of online banking and fintech apps.
Fintech apps?
Those are financial technology applications for anyone not familiar.
Okay.
Fewer people are physically going to banks.
That makes sense.
All right.
I haven't been inside a bank in ages.
Right.
I do everything on my phone.
Right. So the role of the bank teller is evolving.
Okay.
They're becoming more like universal bankers.
Okay.
Focusing on providing financial advice and personalized service.
I see.
Think of it as a move from transactions to relationships.
So again, it's not necessarily about those jobs disappearing.
Right.
But they're definitely transforming.
Exactly.
Requiring a whole new set of skills. Okay, we've covered jobs that involve data and customer interaction.
Right.
But what about those behind-the-scenes roles?
Sure.
Let's talk about proofreaders and market research analysts.
Okay.
How's AI shaking things up there?
Those are great examples of jobs that are being reshaped right before our eyes.
Yeah.
And it's not just happening in customer-facing roles.
Right.
Let's take proofreading, for example. AI is getting really good at catching basic grammar and spelling errors, but there's more to proofreading than just that isn't there.
Right. There's nuance, there's style, there's understanding the author's intent.
Yeah.
And making sure the tone is right.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine a computer getting all of that.
Exactly. Think about a marketing slogan.
Okay.
AI can check the grammar and spelling.
Sure.
But can it tell you if it's catchy, memorable, if it evokes the right emotions in the target audience?
Yeah, does it have that georealizing?
Right. That's where human judgment is still crucial. One study even found that 95% of AI-generated content is still detectable, meaning it doesn't quite pass the human test.
So proofreaders can breathe a sigh of relief for now.
For now, yes.
But it does seem like AI is changing the game, pushing them to focus more on those higher-level aspects of language and meaning. What about market research analysts? I feel like AI could be a total game changer there with all the data analysis involved.
Absolutely. AI is revolutionizing market research by handling that data-heavy lifting.
Oh.
Imagine you're trying to understand consumer trends.
Right.
AI can sift through mountains of data from social media online purchases,
wow,
even weather patterns, and do it 100 times faster than traditional methods.
Okay, so AI is the super-powered research assistant, but what does that mean for the human analyst?
It frees them up to be more strategic.
Yeah.
Instead of getting bogged down in spreadsheets, they can focus on interpreting those insights, connecting the dots, and figuring out what it all means for the business.
Yeah.
AI can tell you what's happening, but it's the human who can tell you why it matters.
So it's about taking it to that next level.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see a pattern here across all. AI is handling the routine stuff, the tasks that can be boiled down to a set of rules.
Yeah.
But that just elevates the human role.
Right.
Pushing us towards more strategic, creative, and problem-solving focused tasks.
Exactly. And it's not just those office jobs.
Okay.
Let's talk about something a little more hands-on. Truck drivers.
Truck drivers, yeah.
Autonomous vehicles are no longer a futuristic fantasy.
Right.
We're seeing self-driving trucks being tested on highways all over the country.
I've seen some videos of that.
18 states have already given the green light for this.
Okay, robot truckers on the open road. That's both fascinating and a little bit terrifying.
A little bit of both.
But does that mean all truck drivers are out of a job?
It's more about a shift in responsibilities.
Okay.
Think of long-haul trucking.
Okay.
It can be monotonous, tiring, and frankly, quite dangerous.
Yeah, for sure.
AI could handle those long stretches on the highway while human drivers step in for more complex situations like navigating city traffic or handling those tricky loading and unloading procedures.
So less driving and more supervising, like a robot wrangler.
Exactly. It might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Right.
But that's the reality we're moving towards. And it's not just truck drivers.
Yeah.
Delivery drivers are seeing similar changes with the rise of those autonomous delivery bots and drones.
Okay, I need to see one of these robot wranglers in action.
Right.
But seriously, this whole shift from doing to overseeing, it's a huge theme we're seeing across so many jobs. What about travel agents?
Yeah.
I thought the internet had already made their jobs obsolete.
That's what many people thought.
Right.
But surprisingly, the travel agent is making a comeback. The internet made booking simple travel easy, but when it comes to complex itineraries, or even more importantly, when things go wrong, people still crave that human touch.
That makes sense if my flight gets canceled or there's a natural disaster at my destination.
Exactly.
I'm not sure I want to be dealing with a chatbot. I want a real person to help me sort it out.
Exactly. And that's where travel agents are thriving.
Okay.
They're becoming more like travel concierges.
Okay.
Offering personalized advice, curating experiences, and troubleshooting those travel nightmares that AI just isn't equipped to handle. In fact, some projections show travel agent demand growing by 20% by 2031.
Wow. That's a big jump. So it's not just about finding the cheapest flight anymore. It's about that personalized touch and expertise that AI can't replicate.
Exactly.
It seems like the human element is becoming even more valuable in a lot of these fields.
Precisely. Now, let's shift gears to a sector that affects us all, healthcare.
Healthcare, okay.
Think about medical transcriptionists. They spend hours listening to doctors' recordings and typing them up.
Yeah.
It's a crucial job, but it's also ripe for automation.
Yeah. I can see how AI, with all the advances in voice recognition technology, could really streamline that process.
Exactly.
What happens to the human transcriptionists?
They evolve.
Okay.
They become documentation specialists.
Okay.
Focusing on quality control, they make sure the AI-generated reports are accurate, especially when it comes to those complex medical terms that AI might still stumble on. And they handle the more nuanced aspects of patient records that require human judgment.
So again, it's not about replacement, it's about elevation.
Right.
And it frees up those healthcare professionals to focus on what matters most, patient care.
Exactly.
What about other roles in healthcare?
Let's look at diagnostic technicians, the folks who analyze medical images like X-rays or run lab tests.
Okay.
AI is becoming incredibly good at identifying patterns and anomalies in these images and results.
Really?
Think of it as a second set of eyes, helping to catch things that a human might miss.
Okay, so AI is like the high-tech assistant, but it's still the human who's making the final call, right?
Absolutely. The human technician is still responsible for interpreting those findings, considering the patient's overall medical history, and ultimately making the diagnosis.
Right.
AI is a tool to augment their skills, not replace them.
I see.
And the impact is significant. Some studies show that doctors spend almost 50% of their time on tasks that AI could automate, freeing them up to spend more time with patients.
Wow. So it's not just about efficiency, it's about improving the quality of care by allowing healthcare professionals to focus on what they do best.
Exactly.
It's amazing to see how AI is impacting such a wide range of jobs, from office workers to truck drivers to healthcare professionals. But it also raises a big question.
Yeah.
What does this all mean for the average person?
Yeah.
What skills do we need to develop to not survive, but thrive in this AI-powered world?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the question.
We've seen how AI is changing the game for so many jobs.
Right.
But what does that mean for our listener?
Yeah. What can they do
What can they do?
to make sure they're not left behind in this AI revolution?
The good news is it's not all doom and gloom.
Okay, good.
In fact, this could be an incredibly exciting time to be entering the workforce or to be thinking about a career change. It's all about understanding the skills that are going to be in high demand and taking proactive steps to develop them.
So what are those magic skills that will make us AI-proof?
Well, there's no magic bullet, but there are definitely some key areas to focus on. And the first one might surprise you. It's creativity.
Creativity.
Yeah.
But I thought AI was getting really good at creating things like writing music and generating art.
It is, but it's still lacking that spark of true originality, that ability to think outside the box and come up with ideas that are truly groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Think of AI as a tool that can help you generate ideas, but it's the human who brings that unique perspective, that emotional depth, that ability to connect with an audience on a human level.
So even in a world of AI-generated content, it's the human artists, writers, and musicians who will truly stand out.
Exactly. And it's not just about artistic creativity, it's about being able to approach problems in new ways, to think critically and come up with solutions that AI might not even consider.
So creativity is like a muscle that we need to be constantly exercising, right?
Exactly. And speaking of muscles, let's talk about another one, adaptability. This is probably the most important skill of all in an AI-driven world.
Okay.
Because the one thing we know for sure is that technology is constantly evolving. What seems impossible today might be commonplace tomorrow.
So it's not enough to just learn a new skill and call it good. We need to be comfortable with constantly learning, unlearning, and relearning.
Precisely, think of it as being a lifelong learner.
Okay.
Be curious, explore new technologies, be willing to step outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
The more adaptable you are, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the twists and turns of the AI revolution.
Okay, so creativity and adaptability check. What else should we be adding to our AI survival kit?
Another crucial skill is strategic thinking. Remember how we talked about AI being great at analyzing data? Well, that's just the starting point. It's the human who needs to take that data, interpret it, and figure out what it means for the bigger picture.
It's not enough to just be good at your job.
Yeah.
You need to understand how your job fits into the overall strategy of the company, the industry, even the world.
Exactly. AI can give you the pieces of the puzzle, but it's the human who puts them together and sees the full picture.
That makes sense. We're seeing this theme of moving from task-based work to more strategic oversight roles.
Yeah.
What else is important?
Well, if you're going to be thinking strategically, you also need to be good at solving problems. And I'm not talking about simple fixes.
Right.
I'm talking about complex problem solving, the kind that involves multiple variables, changing conditions, and often requires thinking outside the box.
So those what-if scenarios.
Yeah.
Those situations where there's no easy answer. Those are the areas where humans will really shine.
Precisely. AI can help us identify problems, but it's often the human who comes up with the creative solutions.
Okay, so we've got creativity, adaptability, strategic thinking, and complex problem solving. Is there anything else we need to add to our arsenal?
One more, and it's arguably the most human skill of all, emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Being able to understand and manage our own emotions, and also being able to read and respond to the emotions of others.
Exactly. In a world where AI is handling more of the technical tasks, it's the human who brings that human touch. It's the ability to empathize, to communicate effectively, to build relationships, and to lead with both your head and your heart.
So even in a world of robots and algorithms, it's our human connection, our ability to understand and relate to one another that will truly set us apart.
Precisely.
Okay, so we've got our 5 essential skills for the AI age: creativity, adaptability, strategic thinking, complex problem solving, and emotional intelligence.
It's a mouthful.
That's a lot to digest, but where do we even start?
The first step is to take a good hard look at your current skill set.
Okay.
What are you good at? What are your weaknesses? What are the tasks in your job that are most likely to be automated once you've done that honest self-assessment? You can start thinking about where you need to grow.
So it's like taking inventory of your career toolkit and figuring out which tools need an upgrade.
Exactly. And the good news is there are tons of resources available to help you level up your skills: online courses, workshops, mentorship programs, even AI-powered tools that can assess your strengths and weaknesses and suggest personalized learning paths.
So it's like having a personal career coach in your pocket.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of real-world experience. Volunteer for projects that challenge you, take on new responsibilities at work, even start a side hustle that allows you to develop those skills in a different context.
So it's about being intentional about your career development and seeking out those opportunities that force you to grow.
Precisely. And don't forget about networking. Connect with people in your field, attend industry events, engage in online communities. You never know where you'll find your next opportunity or learn a valuable new skill.
It's like that saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly. But it's also about who knows. You make sure you're showcasing those essential skills, those uniquely human qualities that make you stand out in a world of AI.
Okay, so we need to be proactive. We need to be constantly learning and growing, and we need to be building those human connections. But are there any jobs that are truly AI-proof?
It's impossible to say for certain which jobs will be completely immune to AI.
Right.
But think about the roles that require a high level of human interaction, empathy, and creativity. Healthcare professionals like doctors, nurses, and therapists come to mind. Yes, AI can assist with diagnosis and treatment, but it can't replace that human connection, that ability to comfort a scared patient or deliver difficult news with compassion.
So those bedside manners, that ability to connect with people on an emotional level, those are the things that AI just can't replicate.
Exactly. And think about skilled trades like electricians, plumbers, and carpenters. These jobs require hands-on problem solving, often in unpredictable environments. AI can help with design and diagnostics, but it's still a long way from being able to handle those complex real-world repairs.
So those jobs where you need to think on your feet and get your hands dirty, those might have a bit more staying power.
Precisely. And let's not forget about those truly creative professions. Musicians, artists, writers, dancers, anyone who's tapping into the depths of human emotion and experience. AI can generate content, but it can't replicate that spark of inspiration, that raw emotion, that unique perspective that makes human art so compelling.
It seems like the jobs that are most AI-proof are the ones that are most fundamentally human.
Exactly. But even those jobs will likely be impacted by AI in some way. It's not about complete immunity. It's about understanding how to use AI as a tool to enhance and augment your skills.
So even doctors and artists might find themselves working alongside AI, using it to streamline their workflows, analyze data, or even spark new creative ideas.
Exactly. It's about embracing AI as a partner, not a competitor.
Okay, so we've talked about the jobs that are most likely to be impacted by AI.
Yeah.
The essential skills we need to thrive in this new world of work. and even those jobs that might be a bit more AI resistant. What's the one key takeaway you want our listener to walk away with?
The future of work is not something that's happening to us.
Okay.
It's something we're creating together. It's about being informed, being proactive, and being willing to embrace change. It's about seeing AI not as a threat,
Right.
but as an opportunity to unlock our human potential.
So it's not humans versus machines. It's humans and machines working together to build a better future.
Exactly. And that's what makes this such an exciting time to be alive. We're on the cusp of a technological revolution, and it's up to each of us to decide how we're going to shape it.
That's a great point. It's not about fearing the future, it's about embracing it. To our listener out there, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The future is yours to create.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
And until next time, keep exploring.
See you next time.